Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Sybil. It's Sybil and Yolanda. Hey, yo.
Hey, Sybil, it's Aprylete Day. Not today, but
it's
I'm here.
always it's Yolanda Day, and we are both here in Baltimore. We're at the CIAA and having a grand time and learning a lot and enjoying the people, the food, and everything that this beautiful city entails. And so, welcome in. We have a great show scheduled for you, including the commissioner of the CIAA. That's a Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association. It is CIA time, and the tournament is going on. We'll talk about the teams that are involved, men and women's basketball. We'll talk about the association itself, and then we'll talk to a young woman, Raquel, who is the director of the Education and Career Day events, and so that's where her heart is and her passion in getting young people here to Baltimore to learn more about the opportunities that are available to them career wise, as well as the schools, the HBCUs that are here in this athletic association, in this commission of the Central Intercollegiate Commission. So I think that it'll be a lot of fun. And then we get to talk to a gentleman who's head of the Visitors Bureau of Visit Baltimore. And you got to come to Baltimore. It is a beautiful town. The food is great, as I mentioned. I've had crab meat, Yolanda.
Yes, Sybil, I think you need a what is it called when you get a training before you go, so you can know
Yeah,
what is. What
yeah,
is it called?
yeah. So I need an advanced training, as you would say, and get a sort of a precursor to my visit. I We went to lunch today, and I said I'd like a crab meat sandwich. And the guy,
She said,
he was just
"Where are
the
you from?"
nicest. Right, he was so nice until that moment. He cut me an eye, and he's like, "Where are you from?" And I said, Chicago. He said, "Well, where I'm from, here, we call it crab cake." And I was like, "Oh God, sir, I know this. I know. I'm just, I'm sorry." So I had
Yeah.
a crab cake sandwich, and it was really good. And the people are just so lovely. I just even I was thinking about this yesterday. We have a really good friend who is a Bowie State representative, and she was wearing her Bowie State jacket, and people are just so excited. He goes, "Hey!" And we're walking down the street, and my brother goes, "Hey, Bowie State! Hey!" I was like, I think he's talking to you, Miss Eileen.
That's Sybil. Today, when I got on the elevator to come down to meet you, I mean, everybody is just so here and happy, good energy. And this
Mm-hmm.
gentleman asked me, "Hey, what school did you go to?" And I looked. He said, "Yeah, what school?" And I was like, "Uh."
TCU.
I said, he laughed. I said, "That's how y'all make us feel. That's how y'all make us feel. Those of us that didn't go to an HBCU, we got to look down,
Yeah.
ashamed where we went to
Right, right.
school."
I went to Northwestern, sir. Not too proud. But I have HBCUs in my heart
I do
and
too, Priscilla.
CIAA
It
schools.
is so great what HBCUs, how they make you feel. I mean, by
Yeah,
proxy, I feel it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And your
It's
money is going to an HBCU
well,
too.
well, but the fact, my money and me, I wish I would have done. I really,
Yeah,
really, really. They say whoever they are that you shouldn't live with regrets. Well, I do have some regret, and I do regret that I didn't go to an HBCU. Sybil,
right,
can you
right.
imagine my confidence if I went to an HBCU?
I don't think we would be able to put you in a room
Girl,
like this.
I'm telling you, I
It
guess
would have
God is best.
your confidence, as you call it, would fill this building, and this is a
Whoa,
pretty
whoa,
sizable
Nelly.
building. Yeah, yeah, it really would. And your spades game would be off the chain.
Right. Well, hold on now. Don't mess with the
I
spades
don't,
game.
I
I'm
don't, I
there.
don't, I don't, I don't, I don't play
Okay.
with that. I don't
All
play
right.
with
I'm
that
there. Well, I'm
because
excited. It looks like the commissioner is here, Sybil.
awesome, awesome. Okay, all right. So let's bring in and welcome into
Oh,
our
she's
little
so great.
program here.
Oh, she's so great. Yes, 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 yes,
Hey,
yes.
Hello, Commissioner.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
Look, you guys did go to HBCU if you came to CIAA. So when somebody asks you, just say, I went to the
Yes.
CIAA.
Okay, okay,
Okay. Okay.
CIAA
And
University.
I know. There you go. And I know Mr. CIAA. So I'm telling
Exactly. He
you.
was a professor on dress code.
That's
But
right.
isn't that
That's
something
right.
that
I
we feel
studied
so
under him.
ashamed about our little education? I mean, just what I mean, what you guys have here? It's gold.
It is.
It really is.
I think I keep having these moments of like we're doing this. And when I got here
Right.
12 years ago, I'm always in all the work that we're doing, but I'm like, this is a big deal. Like, it's a huge
It's a
responsibility.
yeah.
And there's a lot of people here that are depending on having this experience that don't even know what the experience is until they get here. And every
That's
time we
right.
get back here, it just gets better and better. The energy alone, whether it's in the building,
Yeah.
it's in the convention center, it's in the hotel, it just feels right.
And
It
you know
feels
what I was thinking
And
about
all
last
of
night?
the kids.
I'm sorry,
Go
Sybil, go
ahead,
ahead.
y'all. No, I was just gonna say last night, we're in one of the hotels where the basketball players are staying, and they're all so lovely. They're
That's what I was
excited,
gonna
they're
say.
happy, and
They're
they are
polite.
just they're
Yeah,
so wonderful. I mean,
we
That
they
have
was what
know
I
that
was
they're
gonna say,
representing.
Sybil. That's what I was gonna say. It was great because they're being young people, and we're walking down the hall, and this one young lady who was really loud, and it just accosted me. So I was like, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Whoa, hold on for a second. It's okay," but they were so sweet,
Yeah,
so
we have
sweet.
great students. I mean, it's we kick off the week with them on Sunday evening and we do awards banquet. And we've done it
Mhm.
more like a setup of an awards with the seats out and the reception
Oh
instead of
wow.
a banquet style.
Oh,
And they get to walk down the aisle and we've got
Yeah.
video and playing music
oh,
and they are pumped up. They're just a great group of students. And part of it, they know that this opportunity could, their last day of play could be today. So I think
right.
they're holding on to the experience of everything that could, that's benefiting them. I saw some students over in Career Expo today. Their team ain't
Mhm.
in anymore, but they're over there trying to get jobs, so
Yep.
they
There you
understand the
go.
experience and
There
the
you go.
mission of being at our institutions.
We are talking with the Commissioner Jackie McWilliams Parker, and she is the Commissioner of the CIAA. And as we mentioned, it's the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association. And you said this is your 12th year?
Yeah, I'm in my 12th season. So, yeah, September 6th will be a
Wow.
complete 12 years. This is my 12th tournament. I'm including COVID year because we did that virtual
Right,
tournament. And I felt like my
right.
mind was on virtual running the whole time. So, I think even then, it's always strategy to be relevant in the space and to be connected
Hmm.
to our communities and to showcase this conference and our students and institutions. And, even in COVID, that's why we extended here in Baltimore 2 more years because we lost 2 years.
Hmm.
We wanted to give them a chance to really show how committed they were to the CIAA. And they keep doing things way and above. I don't know how
And
my
they keep
board,
taking it to the
let me
next
tell
level,
you,
right?
it's just different. It's different from it may be sometimes you got to leave and go somewhere else, right? So
Uh-huh.
people can see the value of what you have because they're doing exactly everything I've been trying to do since I got here.
Like what, for example?
So all
Nice.
control of all the hotels, controlling all the prices so that fans who are here 7 days don't have to feel like they have to pay $400 a night for a hotel. That's a big deal. And
Good
to
for people.
negotiate rates for
Hmm.
our teams
Good
that
for
are
you.
here with breakfast. I mean, it's those small little things that make sense. We got
Right.
shuttles that are
Right.
taking fans around the city.
Yeah.
You have a
Yep.
party or an event, you got to pay a liquor license so I can get some of your money. I mean, that's just, it's a business,
Okay.
strategy where everybody can win. You want to be a part of the CIAA, you need to invest back
Right.
because ultimately those dollars are going back to our institutions. And we can't talk about HBCUs ain't doing well and nobody gives money. Well, when you come here, you're going to have to invest so that we can give money back.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's right. It is about the investment. And you are a woman, of whom you know of what you speak, because you are, you are HBCU deep to your bones. Going to school, going to an HB, is it the
Hampton.
real HU, Hampton?
Yeah, Hampton University is real. Yes.
Okay. So
it's real. By the sea, by the beach.
And also having worked in the HBCUs.
Yes. Virginia Union, yes.
But it's in your blood. And so with the different schools where you worked, where you attended, where you played, what it means and how invested you are in the culture, that bringing this and what it's like to bring it to a city like Baltimore.
Yeah, so I'm so
after
blessed.
Being in Charlotte for years.
Yeah, I am extremely blessed to have been able to work in the HBCU space and then leave out and go work for, the major national office, the NCAA, and to work with some of the best professionals in the business. I mean, the Final Four, and to work for that, there's not many of us who get to do it. Not many Black women that get to be in that space.
That's right.
So to be able to learn from industry leaders and to be around the corporate environment, to be around athletic directors at the Big Five and commissioners, and to hear and to learn. I mean,
right.
I said if this job ever came open, I would be more than prepared to work with attorneys and lawyers about licensing and, building a contract with cities and negotiations. Like, sometimes it was nice to be in the room, and sometimes it was okay not to, because I understood the mission and how to negotiate on behalf of this conference by the lessons learned at the NCAA. So I'm forever grateful for that opportunity, because they set me up really nicely. And there's nothing, I'm an event person. Look, y'all want a birthday party? I got you.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Right.
And so when people always have ideas about how they can help the CIAA be better, step back a little bit and know who you're dealing with, because
girl, yes,
the conference, I already know what I need. So I appreciate all the offers, and if I need you, I'm gonna come get you. But we have the right partners with us to help us navigate, strategize, women-owned, Black-owned business partners that are with us to really make this conference better. I feel honored to be here to do that.
Wow.
Well, it's an honor to have you with us, because you are history in the making. And you said you understood the mission. Did you go in understanding what it is you wanted to do and what you wanted to accomplish when you moved along your pathway? Because a lot of people say, well, I just kind of fell into this. I say that about radio, but did you go in with the purpose of knowing, here's where I want to start, here's where I want in my 5-year plan, and so on and so forth?
I did. And part of it is because, I was a product of the CIAA. So I remembered it from my own experience. And, the commissioner before the second commissioner, Bob Mormon, that's who I played for. And when I played for him, he was a commissioner, and he was really student athlete friendly. And I remember, the things that he did and what the environment felt like when I was a student athlete. And then over the years, the environment with the second commissioner, creating that corporate environment and building that. So I was able to take the Bob Mormon, the Carey, and then build upon that all of the new opportunities that are available in building large events and championships and, an organization. We are a nonprofit. So I have to remind people we're a nonprofit. We look like we're not, but we are a nonprofit. And
you guys roll big. You roll like for profit, but it is
profit. But all that money goes back to our institutions. I mean, we have to follow the nonprofit rules as a college athletic conference. So it's pretty incredible. I did know when I got this job, it was my dream job. But I didn't know some of the challenges I would be facing in the dream job. So the dream almost died 2 years in, but God always has a way to show you, your purpose. This was your dream job and you prayed for it. I gave it to you and you got to hold on because I got you. And
what
here
an
we are.
inspiration. What an inspiration. I know that you have to go, but I'm the shallow person in the group. and you are super fly doing it. You make us look good, girlfriend. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we'll go on with your serious stuff.
That's a mission too. One of my presidents. I know. I'm gonna let y'all go. But the one thing that there are times when I just like to do the work. I don't need all the accolades. But my president told me that you never know what little girl or little boy sees you.
Amen.
So stand high.
That's right.
And when somebody celebrates you, be celebrated. When they ask you to stand, let them see you, because you just don't know what life you're going to impact.
Amen.
And so it's taken a while to get to that point, to be okay.
That's right.
In this position, being the commissioner and commissioning. Like, I'm a daggone commissioner, so it's cool.
The commissioning is commissioning. So
is
you're doing a swell job, and I was and I want to say, as an older kid who's just enamored by all of this, you represent very well. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud to know you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all having me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Such an honor.
No, we appreciate you coming on. And who are you pulling for?
The winner. You're not gonna get me today, Sybil.
Very good answer. Thank you, Commissioner.
You guys do well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You too. Thanks so much. Let's go. Yes, that is absolutely wonderful.
Awesome. And Sybil, she's so fly. I hate to be the
no.
person.
You're absolutely right. No. That's so fly. That's you, because you're the fly one in the group. Let us move on. Can we move on to our next guest?
She's coming. They have
to all right,
come back.
We had the opportunity to talk to the commissioner during the coronavirus years, the pandemic years, and that's when we first met her. And that was a real challenge, but she has met those challenges, and now she's doing the darn thing and flying high with her fly self. So it's really good to see her. Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to ask her because she had to go. Sybil, I wonder, since she worked for the Final Four and she's been in other spaces, being here around these people, it's like being in a bubble.
Right.
So I wonder, do the people outside of the bubble, and she would be great to answer this, just know how great this is? Does that make sense? That I didn't ask if it was going to take a lot of time to explain what I was asking, but I wonder, can they see it? Not that it really matters
while they're in it.
No. What I'm asking is the people at the Final Four and the people outside of the bubble, can they see what we see? I consider myself being in the bubble.
Okay, and I was thinking while they're in it, like at the Final Four, those are the people I was
right. Yeah, but I'm just curious. Do the white folks know we got this secret sauce over here?
That's the question you should have asked.
Yeah.
Do the white folks know?
We got this secret sauce.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sure that they got the message now. I'm sure. No. I'm very sure. She's very fly. Okay. Let's welcome in Raquel Robinson, director of the CIAA High School Education Day and Career Expo. Another fly young woman. Hello, Raquel. How you doing?
Good evening, fly ladies. How are you?
We're great. We're great. Are you worn out, Raquel?
You want the real answer, or you want my CIAA answer? The real answer is I'm exhausted, but my CIAA answer is, listen, you just keep going until Sunday, and when you get on the plane or in your car, you just fall out if you're not driving.
You got time enough for that, right? The fall out part.
That's
so what does your job?
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask, what does your job entail? Because you are, when you talk about these two different things, the High School Education Day and the Career Expo, those are two distinctly different things. And you're dealing with, I would expect, different groups of people, and the energy is different, and it's all of that, but you're still dealing with the HBCU students or potential students.
Correct.
So what all does it take for you to pull this off.
So
and
this
do you
is
start like next Monday?
Correct. We started today, actually. We surveyed participants, corporate and title sponsors, anyone who came through the door that was breathing. We surveyed them today. We will use that data and information to help us build out what will look like for this upcoming fall, and continue to build on what we built on the past plus 12 years, as Commissioner just said. I've been doing this almost 20 years, which is crazy to think. But for CIAA Education Day, we specifically gear that program to sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school who are potentially looking at furthering their education at a CIAA institution. And right now we have 13 institutions under that umbrella. And really it's about providing that resource and that umbrella, that light bulb that sometimes has to come on, getting them in front of a band and cheerleaders, having that coming feel when that band comes in and those drums and those cymbals play, those cheerleaders start shaking. This year we had the Virginia State Trojan Explosion come in, and listen, those drums started playing, those kids were on those seats, every phone was out, they were like, what is this, and so it's just an exciting time. And then once we break from that, we always have our title and corporate sponsors. We can't do this every year free of charge without U.S. Army ROTC, who comes in and does it for free for our students. We know every student won't go to college. That might not be their path, but we want to provide other opportunities like community college or Army ROTC that provides other ways and resources for our students. We also had Under Armour, their diversity and inclusion executive, come in, just talk about his experience coming from a single parent home where his mom didn't have much, but the seat that he sits in, and he knows that he has to give back. And so really just telling their stories. And then we break from there and have every student go into a college fair. And for our seniors, they get to come provide their transcript, SAT, ACT scores, all of their documentation. And guess what? Apply to every single CIAA school free of charge. They can walk. They can walk away that day being admitted to every single school if they meet the requirement. And students did. And guess what? They also found out if they met the requirement for scholarship money.
That is
listen. So if you were a mama, an auntie, a grandmama, or just someone that loves on some babies, you walked away screaming, shouting, crying, because somebody's baby's going off to school. And so for me, it is always a joy.
It could be the first of that family to do that.
And a lot of students, guess what they are? They're first generation, right? And they're going to hopefully go to an HBCU because, there's nothing like an HBCU. Even if it's not a CIAA school, we love on our people. We build you up, we send you back in community, and we make you believe, you're going to do better for yourself. You're going to be better for everybody around you. And then you're going to go back to your hometown at some point, and you're going to sow and seed, and you're going to lift somebody else up. And that's really what CIAA for Life is really about.
Wow. The CIAA for Life. And you all are doing it. What does that feel like, Raquel?
I did. I am a product 2 times. You can feel it, right? Like it's in me. Yes. So I am a product of the Virginia State University. I want a place where all may go and drink from the fountain of knowledge. Alfred W. Harris, 1882. I got my undergraduate there in psychology, my master's in K-12 counseling from Virginia State University. And
you loved it so much you couldn't leave.
Listen, and Dr. Shackelford, who I will always love, he no longer is a VP there. He was there. He also was at Norfolk State before he retired. Loved on me. He believed in me. He believed in my leadership. And he saw something in me many, many moons ago. And now I'm a woman-owned, Black-owned business, right? Have my own consulting business where I now am lifting up other students to make sure that they go off to school and get jobs. Listen, I'm living my own dream.
That's
okay. Where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from Fort Worth, Texas.
Shut up.
That's right.
Yes. Well, Fort Worth, Arlington. My dad was in the FAA. So we actually grew up in Northern Virginia, right outside of Fairfax, Virginia, a little small town called Manassas. Grew up there. And then that's how I got to Virginia State 2 times over. And now I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and have been there a little over 15 years. And I love it down there. The mild weather, I will never come back up north. It's cold up here in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Y'all need to get some heat.
it is cold. So Raquel, before you move on, so when'd you leave Fort Worth?
That was when I was younger, but you know, when you live in the South or you're from the South, they send you back every summer.
Well, that's where I'm from.
It was like I never left, right?
I was born on the south side of Fort Worth.
Where in Fort Worth? Stop 6?
The Morningside area.
Yes. Okay. So we got to talk offline then, because we might be family somewhere down the line. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
You know what? When you were talking, I was like, I know her. She's my new girlfriend.
Yes. My grandmother's house is off of Maceo Lane, and my dad's parents are off of Berry and something. So yeah, we'll need to talk. But yes.
Oh yeah, let's talk, girl. I'm sorry, Sybil. Sorry. You know how it is.
That's okay. That's okay. I know where my dad's house is, and I can talk that talk too.
And just for your viewers, so they know, I know they see all my Greek nalia. Today is Greek Day here at CIAA, so everyone's got their Greek paraphernalia on and all their pins. And
I see you representing. I see you with the pink and green. I see you. Okay. Now, for parents who are considering it or bringing their kids, what's the best piece of advice you can give them in coming on a day like this? Because as you said, they come prepared, and they should come prepared, the seniors, with their transcripts and all of that kind of stuff. Let's say they are freshmen or sophomores. What's the best way to approach this?
Yeah, so in my former life, before I got to the district level, I'm a district administrator now in Charlotte. But before that, I was a high school counselor. And what I can tell parents right now is you need to stay connected to your student. They are not growing once they get to high school. You need to know their grades. You need to log into that portal, Power School, whatever it's called in your state. You need to know their grades, what classes they passed, not passed. If they got C's and you want them to have A's and B's, you need to know who their counselor is, their email address. Stay connected. Not only that, you need to be meeting and thinking about colleges, talking to your student about in-state, out-of-state, how much you want to pay. Also, you know your student, right? I was a very extrovert, as you can tell. I can talk. I love people. I can maneuver without my family. But there are some students that cannot, and you don't want to send your student off out of state and they're going to spend your money and not do right by your money, right? And so have those conversations early, right? But then also be thinking about SAT and ACT and what colleges are going to require that or not require that. A private versus a public. And so I went to a public school. My brother went to Hampton University, which was a private school, and then one of my younger brothers, he went to a private school, but it was more Christian, right? And so each of us obviously raised in the same household with the same parents. We just required a little bit different. So you need to know your student. And so that's what I would say to parents. Still stay connected regardless of if they're in high school now, they think they're grown and they don't need you, and stay out my business. They are your business, right? Stay connected. Make sure you talk to their counselor. Stay connected to their assistant principal or principal. And then guess what? It's never too early to start college tours. Go on those campuses, look at the dorms, figure out those programs. What do they have to offer? There are a lot of new programs, aviation, STEM programs, culinary arts, the arts. There are things now that we didn't even have in school, right? Where students are really getting engaged and offer more for students outside of just the normal teaching programs or going, to be a lawyer or a doctor. There are a lot of things where students really have resources that really kind of talk to their own soul. And so that's what I would talk to parents about right now.
Nice.
Raquel, we're losing you, and I don't know if it's if they turned off the lights there or what. But
oh no,
the last thing, if you could just talk. It's me.
I think you're frozen.
Yeah. Oh, it's me. Okay, I can accept that. Okay. So Raquel, the last thing is about career day, because how soon are we talking about kids looking at careers or perhaps applying for internships with companies that are there at your exposition?
Yes. So the difference between Education Day and Career Expo really is for collegiate students, career lookers, career changers, people who are really just being nosy. But we really are looking for those who are looking for internships or externships. But what I will say right now, even just as an educator in secondary schools, they are really trying to expose students to careers earlier in life so that they do have a path forward. But Career Expo really is for those collegiate students coming out of their 4-year program and looking to go into a career. And so it is important while they're in college to start looking into those careers. And today was amazing. We had over 80 title and corporate sponsors here in the Baltimore Convention Center. Listen, students were suited and booted, ready with their resume and cover letter. They were ready, okay? Whoever prepared them at all of these schools, they said, listen, go in there, open your mouth, shake hands, make sure you go by every single table. You never know what opportunity there is. And they were ready. And listen, CIAA prepares them. And so I'm excited about what's for them. We want to make sure that there are resources out there. And I'm just excited that our commissioner, Jackie McWilliams, allows that opportunity, right? It is about the game. It's about our student athletes. She always ensures that they have scholarships, but she also knows the major picture is ensuring that there are resources for our students. And I'm just thankful that I continue to be allowed to have this platform for Education Day and Career Expo. And listen, the best is yet to come. So if you are not here in Baltimore, if you are not supporting the CIAA and the scholarships, get on board and don't get left behind.
Amen. Yes. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, that is so awesome. We were able to get by there and meet some of the kids. And as a matter of fact, last year when we did it, we had students that Yolanda took to one of the major conventions, and from Morgan State and from Bowie, as a matter of fact.
I love
it. And so it really is. It's a great opportunity, and I'm telling you, they are dynamic. They really are. And you should be very proud of the students that are coming through your schools.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, and listen, I appreciate you all's platform because you're getting it out there. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. We're very, very, very impressed.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Your parents must be really proud of you.
Well, listen, I always say I'm their favorite, but I really can't say that because it really is 5 of us. So, I mean, but...
So all of y'all went to HBCU.
Well, you're our favorite, okay?
Right. 3 of us went to HBCUs. Myself, I went to Virginia State. I have a brother who went to Hampton, and I have a brother who went to Stephen F. Austin. And then I have a sister that went to Dudley for hair. And where's the last one? And then I had my oldest brother.
That's no joke either.
That's no joke either. And listen, she does hair now. My hair stays lit. Okay, I'm just gonna let y'all know that. Okay. And then my oldest brother, he decided to be different, and he went to Virginia Tech. So we love him. We love him.
Okay.
We love him. We love him.
But you all are HBCU proud.
We are HBCU proud. My dad went to Prairie View, and then my mom went to University of Austin at Texas. She's a Longhorn. So we have both sides of the coin. But listen, he wished he would have went to an HBCU.
I bet. I bet he does.
He does. He does.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Raquel Robinson, you are a delight. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
I love y'all. Listen, let's do it again
and we look forward to seeing you next year.
So Raquel, I'm going to ask Jenny to give me your information.
Please do. Let's connect because I bet we know some people and know some people. Yep. And I actually just was in Texas like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, come on back.
Yes.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
All right. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Listening to you.
Thanks so much. That's really nice.
Wow.
That is
really
awesome. Yeah. What a small world too, huh?
Yeah, so there's some great people in this world, right?
Yes, there are. And most of them are right here tonight. I was I didn't want to cut you off, and I knew we were running out of time, but when I was we were talking to the commissioner, I was on the elevator with some of the women basketball players. And so we got on in the lobby, and they were, just, sniggling and giggling and carrying on. And I got off on my floor, and they got off on the same floor, and one of them said hello, and I turned around, and she said, "Oh, ma'am, we're on this floor too." And I said, "I just heard you say hello. Wow. I thought you were talking to me." That was really, but they're so nice, and they're so excited, and they're just great kids. They're just really great kids.
I just wish there's a way, with us and outside of us, and just expanding. The world needs to see these young Black kids out having fun, acting like they have some sense, and just really enjoying it. We need to see young people, in this light outside of the light that we most often see them.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that is what needs that's our next. That's where we should be focusing our attention on, bringing them to the forefront. And letting people
those
see
kids that come through those expos, boy, they are serious. They serious. Yeah. Were you serious when you were a senior? Were you that serious about getting a job and getting? No,
I just knew that I had to, but I didn't do all of that.
But your mama was no joke, huh?
No. You've had all these years of subsidized irresponsibility. Now it's time to go out there and make your way. And like, okay, here we go. And people are sending me, job leads and everything because your mama, she's serious. I'm like, I know.
All right, Mr. Hutchinson is here whenever you're ready.
Okay. Let us move on and welcome Mr. Al Hutchinson, President and CEO of Visit Baltimore. And Mr. Hudson, thank you so much. Hutchinson, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Just a little bit so that there you go.
There you go.
Thank you. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
We're great. And thank you for all that you have provided here. As far as people coming to the city of Baltimore and being charmed by the Charm City. You guys are doing a great job. Tell us a little bit. It's got to take a lot of coordination to bring an event like the CIAA to the city of Baltimore. What goes into that?
Oh, wow, that's a very complex question, Sybil, but it takes a lot. I mean, this is an effort, all hands on deck. We had to first start with the city of Baltimore. The mayor's office had to be supportive, both financially initially. And once we got their blessing, then we had to get the state of Maryland support to make this happen. And then we also had to get the support of the private sector because it takes a big check to make this happen. This is about a $4 to $5 million budget item. So there's a lot of financial effort. But once you get past that, then it gets to
hold on. That's going to be a lot to get past. I just had to digest that to get past it. That's amazing.
The $4 to $5 million. Yeah, that's a big check.
Yeah, it's a big check. And when you think about a city like
but so how long is
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sybil,
no. I'm sorry, I jumped on you. I was just okay.
Go ahead.
My question is that courtship that you start. How far in advance did you all start courting the CIAA to bring them to Baltimore after they're having a good relationship with the city of Charlotte?
Well, look, I got this job in November of 2016. That's when I was hired, right? But I've been in this sort of travel and tourism space for a really long time. So when I initially received the job in Baltimore, I knew coming out of the gate, I needed to get a big win for this community. Number one, I needed a win for the city to be successful, for the state to be successful, but I needed some credibility as well that I knew what I was doing. So fortunately, my history with the CIAA goes many years. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. My high school is right next door to Virginia Union University. So knew about the CIAA as a youngster. When I became an adult, I was a part of the Richmond team that hosted the CIAA in Richmond back in the day.
Oh.
So I knew what the CIAA could do for communities, bringing them together, leaving a financial impact. So when I got to Baltimore, I'm like, February in Baltimore, the last week, historically is a very slow business time. There's very few things happening in Baltimore. And this is a sports town, Ravens, the Baltimore O's, the colleges and universities. So I thought, and the reality is Baltimore's a black city. Let's not make any mistake of that. So I thought the CIAA was hand in glove, peanut butter and jelly.
That was a great fit.
You know, crabs and obey, whatever you want to say. It was a perfect fit, right? And so we started probably having the conversation in early 2018. I had to get with some stakeholders who knew about the CIAA and convince our mayor at the time and other stakeholders that this would make good financial sense to a city, quite honestly, that's has some financial challenges. And so when you look at the budget that I mentioned, putting that together is a serious undertaking for a city like Baltimore. But we made the business case. As I said, we started early 28. We put together a proposal that we submitted, I believe, sometime summer of 2018. And then we went to Charlotte in December to make the presentation to the board. At the time, 12 presidents along with the commissioner. And, you know, the rest is history, but we had to do a tremendous job in that room to convince those 12 presidents that it made sense to them and to their institutions to leave Charlotte after 15 really successful years.
So,
and who would have thought? I'm sorry, go ahead, Yolanda.
So, Mr. President, at the end of the day, you know, Visit Baltimore is still a business. And although you had to come up with write the check in order to get the CIAA to come here, it has to be a profit for you as well, or else you wouldn't do it. I mean, I know you like us, like our people, but at the end of the day, you're a business. And so my question to you is, has it been profitable for Baltimore yet?
Yes, it has. But you're absolutely right. We're our business. But when you're talking about this kind of model, it has to go both ways. It has to be a benefit to the CIAA, and it has to be a benefit to both the city and the state of Maryland.
Right.
And so it has to be a win-win proposition to all parties. And I've said this to the commissioner, this is a true partnership. It has to work both ways. If it doesn't work either way, then you need to step out. For us, it's been a win, Yolanda. I mean, year one of basketball during COVID, it was still
that was what I was going to ask about.
Yeah, still with COVID, it was a $15 million.
Shut up.
Good
and, for you.
Yeah, $4 to $5 million expense. You get back 15 in economic impact. That's a win.
Oh my goodness.
But last year, the real good news story last year in 2023, it was a $30 million economic impact to the city of Baltimore.
So, I guess you proved yourself, Mr. President. You had to come in and do
look, I'm in the performance business. Make no mistake about it. If I'm not bringing this community good business, guess what? They say, I like you, Al, but you got to get out of here. And I understand that very clearly. That's real to me. So this initiative, this partnership is a true win for Baltimore, true win for Maryland. And I think it's a win for the CIAA as well.
That's very impressive.
You talk about who would have expected that a pandemic would come at the beginning of this relationship, or very close to the beginning of this relationship, and yet you exceeded expectations. And so now people are like, okay, Al, what you got for us next? What you got? And that's a lot on you, but that really speaks to your talent.
Well, look, it takes everybody. I'm on the team. I'm a part of the team. I always say this is totally not about me. What I see is my job is to bring good economic benefit to Baltimore and to the taxpayers. That's what this is about. It makes good business sense, but it also makes good community sense, because when you look at the CIAA in a city like Baltimore, We're fortunate to have Bowie State as the host institution right in Bowie, Maryland, right? Lincoln University, just an hour north of Baltimore. It just made sense for us to bring an event like this to Baltimore that's way bigger than just basketball, right? Basketball is the backdrop, both women and men's basketball. But I've always said, if we did this successfully, then the outcome of it should be someone maybe wanted to send their daughter, their son to college in Baltimore, maybe at Morgan, maybe at Coppin, maybe at Towson, right? Or if there's a small business owner somewhere on the East Coast, they have such a great experience in Baltimore, they decide, you know what, I want to relocate my business to Baltimore. Or someone has such a great experience through CIAA, they may want to buy a home in Baltimore. If we do things right, that should be the outcome. We want multiple outcomes. Definitely do basketball right. Do it right by the student athletes, do it right by the 13 presidents. But we should also want the visitors that come to Baltimore to leave with a different view about one of the most special cities in this country and come back to visit, to live, to invest. And that's part of my job.
Yeah.
I have a praise
How did you
report
find yourself in this business?
Well, you know,
how'd you find yourself in this business?
Yeah, I got lucky. I didn't grow up in the travel and tourism space. I went to college. I was a marketing major. My first job out of college was with Xerox Corporation, and that's where I got my sales training. And
Got it.
believe it or not, I'm telling my age now, but in 1992, I responded to a blind newspaper ad in my hometown of Richmond, Virginia. And I had no idea what it was. It just says they were looking for a salesperson. I responded, and it was a job to sell the city of Richmond. And at that time, I had no idea there was actually a profession or a career where someone would pay you to travel the globe, to sell a destination, and pay you for it. And I said, sign me up for that. I can do this. Right. I know how to do this, and then let's go. And so 32 years later, 6 cities later, this is my second president and CEO gig. I was able to grow. I fell in love with a business. I worked at it every day on my work ethic, and I became fairly good at it. And I've moved around the country.
You look modest. I just wanted to give you a quick praise report based off of what you were saying, how when people come, you want them to become a part of the community. I have a niece. I live in Fort Worth. I have a niece that attended a school, and her whole career, she has been around white people. She's gone to white schools because of where they lived, for whatever reason.
Sure.
So we allowed her to come and to do a tour with the church there, and they went to Howard, they went to Bowie, they went to Hampton, they went to a lot of schools. And so she was so adamant. I remember when she was a freshman in high school with Auntie Sybil. Sybil was always, and Tom Jordan, HBCU, and she insisted, I'm not doing that. I am not.
Absolutely not.
Right.
So when she went on that tour, it just kind of opened her up. It was like, there's something else out here. But last year, when we came to the CIAA, Sybil missed a real important breakfast that we needed to go to, and she took this baby to school, and being around Baltimore and what have you. And President, she came back and she was emphatic. She was either going to Bowie or she was going to Morgan State, and that was it.
Everything going to Morgan State.
Off the table. Her family, they fought her. My sisters, her mother, they fought. She's like, this is what I'm doing. But here's the praise report. She ended up going to Morgan State. She started in August. She loves Baltimore so much. She did not come home for Thanksgiving. And when she came home for Christmas break, she had to get back. Oh, wow. It is something that's going on here that she's like, I got to be there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it has changed her. She's a different young lady.
Well, Baltimore getting into your soul and to become a part of your fabric. I've been here 8 years now, and it gets a part of you because it's people here who really love their city. and they have a passion about Baltimore, unlike a lot of cities around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a part of you. So I commend that young person you're talking about. And there are a number of folks like that here in Baltimore, came from other places and say, you know what, I'm just going to be here for 5 minutes. And before you know it, it's 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So that's real.
Yeah. Nice.
And I got to tell you, the cooperation between the city and the businesses and what have you, just the restaurants and how they have rolled out the red carpet to everyone. And just, I mean, you can't lose with the seafood here in town, obviously, but the soul food restaurants and, the Italian restaurants, they've all bought in, haven't they?
Yeah, so well, that's a great point. And I will tell you, when we did this initial pitch back in 2018, we committed to the CIAA that if we were fortunate enough to win the bid, that we want to make sure we showcase our small businesses in Baltimore, especially our Black-owned businesses. And so the real part of success story has been the last 3 years that a number of our small Black-owned businesses have felt a part of what we're trying to do here. Nice. We've actually have achieved it in several different ways. One way, we have what we call a bot pass, which during Black History Month, we created this bot pass, which is Baltimore slang for a slow walk. And so this little bot pass gives you discounts to attractions, Black museums, Black-owned small businesses, nice. Retail establishments during the month of February. And then in addition to that, we created a Black-owned business directory that showcases, now we have close to 200 businesses in Baltimore, Black-owned businesses, nice. That during CIAA week, people can go to, support, celebrate, and hopefully all times a year, people can celebrate these businesses. And then the third component was we partnered with a local promoter last year, and we created what we call the BORT Tour, or the Black-owned Restaurant Tour. We had 8 restaurants who participated last year. This year, we're up to 14 Black-owned restaurants. And it's a really cool piece because each day of the week of the tournament, we're showcasing a Black-owned restaurant. That folks can go there and get discounts. And really, look, Baltimore, as you know, we're the king and queen of crab cakes and crab. Nobody does it better than Baltimore. But we do a lot of food really, really well. And that's a part of our story. We want to showcase all of the great culinary.
Whoa. Okay. He snapped out.
That was really impressive, though.
Yeah, because I was just about to ask him about the crab meat.
I don't think I'll live that down. If I should go back downstairs and ask that gentleman.
No, you won't. You don't know what it's like living with somebody that knows everything and is always on top. That was so great. Hold on, he's back. You just want to tell him goodbye.
No, sorry, ladies. I think that was me. I apologize.
It's okay.
No worries. President Hutchinson, thank you so much for your time. And I gotta say, I think that Baltimore has the most Black museums or Black-centric museums per capita in the world. I grade wax and wax. I mean, just start there. And the Reginald Lewis Museum, but it's a great place. It's a great city. You should be very proud of it.
Well, we are, and I think you're absolutely right.
Thank you so much.
We have the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That is President Al Hutchinson, CEO and president of Visit Baltimore. Visit Baltimore, everybody. You will be charmed by the Charm City, I promise you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay.
Yolanda, let's close out with your jewel.
Okay, great. So this one I like about having purpose, and Mr. Hutchinson is definitely an example of somebody who really has purpose and just have.
I think they all have exemplified.
Well, that's true.
You're
right. You're exactly right. You're 100% right. But today's is having purpose sharpens your focus on what's really important in life. Having purpose is what sharpens your focus on what's really important in life. So there we have it.
And I'm going to win the lotto so I can come back and live on the shore here and just by the water in Baltimore. It is absolutely beautiful. You'll know where to find me. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much to the commissioner. Thank you to Raquel, who is also just an incredible infectious force. They're working with the career and the students exposition, as well as President Hutchinson. And thank you to Jenny. And
Jenny McIntosh, along with the great, the beautiful, the wonderful, the talented Martine.
Charles.
Martine, yes. So thanks, Martine.
And thank you all. Thank you, Baltimore, for making us feel so welcome. We appreciate you, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care.
Okay,
Aloha.
bye-bye.